Morning.
Okay, good morning, y'all. Today is November 30th, 2022. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. I'd like to call this meeting of the Logan County Commissioners to order. Thank you all for coming. Please rise for the flag salute. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Item 3, any citizen desiring to be heard? Don't see anything out here for that. All right. Consideration of possible action to approve minutes of November 15th, 2022.
I'll move we approve as presented.
I will second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the minutes. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you. All right. Item 5, consideration of possible action on resolution establishing 2022 safety awards. This is prorated. Gentlemen, you can look at that. If you'd like. It looks
Same as last year.
good.
Move to approve.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second to approve the safety awards for this year. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. When are those going to be out?
December 15th.
December 15th. Thank you, ma'am.
Just, if you don't mind, just to be clear, no elected officials eligible.
Correct.
Right. Awesome. Just wanted to throw that out there.
I agree. Thank you very much, sir. I mean, I can't believe they pay us to do this job to start with.
Can't believe we did it.
Well, there's that too.
Second.
All right, let's see. Item 6, consideration of possible action on final plat of Dover Estates in the northwest quarter of section 1617 North 4 West.
How's it going? Good. How you going?
Oh.
Old, tired.
Is that in the city of Dover?
Dover, Oklahoma.
So which is the white cliffs.
I knew Dover was that.
What about the language on county roads? It's private. I need to see it.
It's that trust with verify thing, right?
Troy's already seen it, so. I'll move to approve.
I'll
You
second.
found it?
Troy did.
Okay. You sure? Okay.
It's under the homework
Have a motion and a second to approve the plat. Any further discussion?
center. How many lots you got, you know?
I believe it's 26. Two and a half,
Yeah.
10 acre.
So this is wrong.
You know where that's at? That's my turf over there.
I know.
That's what I was asking if it was in Dover, because Dover's over in Kingfisher Canyon. Over on 81.
So we approved.
So no, we haven't. So I asked if there was any further discussion, and there seemed to be discussion going on, so
Yeah.
I will run that by again. I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
None.
Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
I knew they'd start moving north.
So you're gonna have one of those wind farms out there with you too?
We were hoping.
Really?
Good. I guess you can take this in this paper. I don't think we didn't sign the paper.
Well, good luck with them.
Some blacktop all the roads.
No, it's gravel.
Don't hurt that.
Looks nice though. Little gravel on the county road too.
Awesome. About 12 miles in there.
Not that much.
Well, good luck with them.
Thank you.
Thanks, man. All right, item 7, consideration and possible action on final plat of Prairie Point Estates in the southwest quarter of section 22-16 north to west.
See what?
Take it over and get it recorded.
Pine and Prairie Grove. Yes.
So you're yelling down.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we spoke a few times on the phone.
Yes, sir. So did we get the language right on it?
Yeah, so the roads are not the responsibility of Logan County, the internal streets are private and shall be maintained by the homeowners association.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I will second.
Have a motion and a second to approve the plat. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Motion passes unanimously. And we're sticking this all over, sir.
Have a good one.
You too.
Driving now.
I got it down for 4 members, I guess.
There's my word sign on this one.
It's on the second page.
I see.
Like, from around here, gentlemen?
Yep. Where do I know you from?
Bar.
Oh. Let's see, taking whiskey shots or what?
No, not me. Maybe, a while back ago.
This has a spot
Take that.
for people to sign. Remember.
Do what?
This is the Redneck Yacht Club.
I'm gonna hold that up.
Don't you?
Sorry.
I thought it was somebody.
Caused me to check.
We gotta do another this every time somebody's phone goes off.
Yeah.
How many lots in there?
42?
42.
Yep.
Well, good luck with it. You already got them all
Appreciate it.
sold? Or?
No.
Y'all building a suit or?
Yeah, we're gonna be building some of them and then selling some of the lots. We've got some that are possibly sold, but nothing. Kinda wanted to wait till it was a filed plat of record before we got too far.
Y'all gonna go ahead and pave the county and city road there?
The county's already paid.
See, county's on top of things.
Yeah.
Yes, just so we get that straight.
What district is that? What is District 3? Yeah, it'd be District
Now it's District 3.
What ain't District 3? Everything's District 3.
All the good stuff that's happening in the county, District 3.
It is a big district.
I'm okay with
Yeah.
that. I'm okay with that.
Well, I'll respect you over. It got a little smaller though.
Yeah.
You can take it over and record it.
Hey,
Good luck with that.
thank you very much.
Thanks, sir.
All right, appreciate it.
Okay, item 8, consideration and possible action on agreement with Coyle Public Schools for a school resource officer for the period of November 22 through May 2023.
This is, we had a contract that said it was a 3-month contract because we weren't sure financially what we were going to be able to pay after our estimate of needs came down and everything. We want to go ahead and extend the contract through the school year. So that's.
I'll move with approve.
I'll second.
Yes. So, Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously, and Molly gets to be the new chairperson.
Oh, timed up a little wrong.
Please, Monty, please.
I'm good.
All right. I'm sure Coyle Public Schools will be better off for that. Thank you, sir. Item 9, consideration and possible action to authorize the county clerk and county treasurer to open a fund for local assistance and tribal consistency fund for receipt of funds from the Department of Treasury. I'm not going to read all that other.
There's no paperwork, we just are required for the board to authorize opening new funds.
Make a motion to authorize.
I'll second. Ooh. I have a motion and a second to authorize the county clerk and treasurer to open this fund. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Now, item 10, consideration and possible action to authorize the county clerk and treasurer to open a fund for opioid settlement for receipt of funds received as settlement for opioid lawsuits.
Has any of that been starting to trickle down?
Not yet.
I'll move we approve.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second to approve. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Thank y'all. All right, 11, consideration and possible action to approve resolution appointing requisitioning officers for various accounts.
So the ones I have for both 11 and 12 requisition and receiving are related to these two new funds that have been opened.
Well, you did that quick, by the way. I just opened those funds fast.
We're on it. So, and you guys can change this, but because of what they were, you're not gonna be here, so I just filled in here, so we can put whoever you all want on there.
I think that's excellent. So these are for the,
It's gonna be for those PILT funds and for the opioid funds when they ever arrive.
so the county clerk and Monty, she put your name on there because your rumor is you may be here after the first of the year.
Maybe it's right.
Right, so that's why you're on
It's a big
it.
thing.
But I'm on here as the chairman to sign off on it, but it's all good. It's all good. What's with this? We get it signed twice?
You sign it twice, the board signs it once.
Okay.
So up there under your name as the authorizer, and then the board action to approve the resolution.
Okay.
With my name being on there, I won't make the motion, but I'll accept it.
I'll make a motion.
I will second. Any further discussion? Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Motion passes unanimously. Let me sign it twice. Oh. I signed it in the wrong spot.
No, you're
Corrected.
fine.
So am I receiving officer too?
No,
Hey, that would be tricky.
elected officers are not authorized to be receiving officers.
I'm just checking.
We've had that discussion once or 5 times. Mom gets to sign it up there on top. Okay, item 12, consideration and possible action to approve resolution appointing receiving officers for Harris County.
Same two new funds, and Sarah and Paul are the current receivers for the general accounts and all of those types, so we just listed them.
Okay, have Sarah and Paul as receivers. Any discussion here?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Yes, sir. Okay, item 13, consideration of possible action on consent agenda. Joshua's our new employee.
Yes.
Cool.
Action board.
$5 grand.
That's how much we get back from the state.
We spend more than that,
We did.
a lot more than that.
That's just for herself. Alcoholic beverage.
26.4.
17.7
Overall?
overall total. Guthrie was 12.6. Cedar Valley 475.
Good job, Stephen.
Yeah.
Good
So
job.
much. You've been working too much.
They'll be up next.
That's it for consent.
All right.
I move we approve the consent.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second on consent. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. All right, item 14, consideration of possible action on claims for payments for November 2022. That's a whole stack. Almost $100,000 worth of claims. So these general government folks are really not watching this. Mileage reimbursement for OSU.
They get travel claims for your stuff.
They don't live locally?
That's when they go to meetings or camps or,
That's my question exactly. They don't live locally.
I'm not sure where they are.
So, do we get extra travel if we schedule a meeting in Las Vegas?
Yep.
Would we ever do that to the taxpayers of Logan County? Probably not.
I remember back in the day, there was one in Hawaii.
I heard something about that.
Hawaii. I heard about one in Washington.
I heard about one every 2 weeks in Las Vegas.
Ooh. Huh? It was weekly?
Weekly, okay. Sorry, I wasn't caught up on the full story there. The fire departments have been busy. So Stephen, has our Red Cross folks been a little more agreeable to helping out now?
Well, I finished all my Red Cross training, and so I'm a Red Cross volunteer with a one of their credit cards to help speed up the process now.
Right.
And so, and then,
Do they make you wear a mask when you're on site?
no,
Okay.
they got rid of the policy.
Oh,
Yeah,
excellent.
yeah. And then since they got rid of the policy, they've actually had one of their volunteers come back,
Uh-huh.
and then
Funny how that works.
one of the Guthrie Police Department dispatchers, she has signed up to assist the Red Cross.
Cool.
So there's me, the Guthrie dispatcher, and then maybe like one or two more. So there's like 4 of us now for the county.
Cool. Thanks for hanging in there on that.
Yeah.
They gonna let y'all take over the old building, or did they sell that?
Oh, out at the hospital? Well, they Red Cross has a storage building in one of the garages out at Mercy Logan.
We used to have a building over by,
Second Street?
yeah,
I don't think they have that anymore.
No, all I know about is their storage building out on Mercy Logan.
Saving this for last, did you?
Sure.
Yep. There we are. CL board. Earl. Oh, that's the rental and the loader. Yeah, they just finally told us that we owed them tank rental after the fact.
That's it for claims.
make a motion to approve claims.
Second. I have a motion and a second on claims. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Item 16, item 15, consideration of possible action on purchase card payments for November 2022 in the amount of $284.41.
I'll move we approve.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second to approve P-card. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Now the hard one. Okay, item 16, comments, announcements, questions by the Board of County Commissioners or other county officers and department heads. Stephen?
Nothing from me.
Y'all are doing a good job on your Facebook site, by the way.
No.
I noticed the stats on that. That's amazing how many people actually go to our emergency management Facebook site.
Oh, yeah.
For the county.
Follow it.
Yeah, well, following it
Yeah.
and making statements and
Yeah.
that, it's doing a really, really, really good job of getting the word out.
Yeah, I try to keep it, active and.
Doing a good job there, Stephen. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Sheriff, anything for?
Yeah, we're having some issues. Well, we've been having issues in District 2, Charter Oak and Douglas, with the school there. When you can go out there almost an hour before it's time to pick kids up and a line starting to form, blocking traffic on the eastbound traffic. We had a pretty heated incident yesterday with an individual. Once we arrived, we got it calmed down pretty quick. But my concern is people trying to pass in the westbound lane. Most of the residents out there know to avoid that area during that time. But sadly, we get a lot of people that get stuck in that traffic line and can't get out of it. And people don't have the patience they once had in this great world. And I'm just afraid something bad's going to happen there. If we don't take a look at how we can accommodate the school traffic as well as those that are traversing through Charter Oak. You know, I don't know, in looking at it, a turn lane would be great, but I know with that comes right-of-way easements and stuff like that. I didn't know if through the different mechanisms of funding, being that it related to a school, that there would be other funding available for it to try to create some sort of a turn lane specifically for those that are going to that school. Like I said, my concern is we're going to have an accident, we're going to have somebody get hurt, or somebody lose their mind and bad things happen. Of course, we got a deputy at the school that's monitoring all that. But there's days that we need 2 or 3 deputies out there to monitor that. We just don't have the manpower to do it. But I'd be happy to sit down and try to figure out a way, I'm sure the school would too, to try to figure out a way to accommodate all parties that are in that area to try to continue with the flow of traffic as well as those that need to pick up their kids and have them in place as well. So that's my...
Yeah, it's one of those issues that we're kind of looking at. We've discussed already. It's also something that I'm going to have to get with the school superintendent about. As you said before, right-of-way acquisition is going to be one of the biggest hurdles that we come into because, you know, the school's already set in place their curbs and everything else, and to the south there we've got that housing addition. So that's the issue that we're looking at, and honestly I don't think that a single turn lane is going to be sufficient. I think that we're going to end up having to put in a 4-lane road or go into the right of way of the school and put a turning lane there for the westbound traffic, and then put a center lane in for eastbound traffic. So those are some things that we're going to have to, yes, and I would be glad if we could all sit down, myself, you, and the superintendent, and go over some things and come up with some ideas. Funding is the other issue that we're looking at, but those are definitely some plans that we're looking at. One of the biggest things that we've tried to do is, you know, we put in the double line. Yep. That was to try to help people from passing, which we had some issues, which I don't know if we've had that issue since we put those lines in.
We still do, but it's not as
frequent.
Not as frequent. But, yeah.
And of course, the school zone signs. Honestly, that road is too small for that amount of traffic.
Yep.
And I completely agree. That's one of the things that we're going to be looking at here pretty quickly, especially before the next school year. I mean, I don't think it's something that we can get done immediely, but yeah.
But I think everybody understands that it's a process.
Right.
But my goal is just making sure that the people know that we're going to work on this,
right,
and do our best to try to make sure that area is safe for everybody.
Yes.
So like to me, you might add it to the 5-year plan and try to get the state help fund that.
So the front part of that school is kind of open. I mean, there's a ditch there, and then there's parking lot, and then there's all sorts of other stuff. I think that seeing how it's already public land, the concept of eminent domain is probably out the window, right? So how do you take over land that's already been taken over, right? So I think that if Cooler Head sat down and looked at that they could figure out a way to turn that traffic into that area off of the road and do that. I think that would be a solution to it. I'm not saying the only one by any stretch, but that's the first thing that came to my mind when I heard about the issue. The school system needs to help us help them in that regard as well.
It's definitely going to be a venture partnership.
Yeah, because a lot of the turning lane, we're going to have to go east of the school there towards that Charter Oak Hills addition for the westbound traffic. I mean, we're going to have to put in, it's going to be...
Well, I think the main issue is not so much the westbound traffic, it's the eastbound traffic.
Well, yeah, but in order to get the amount of space that we need, we're going to have to put in a lane on that westbound lane so that we can put a center lane in.
Well, but I think there's water lines that run right down.
There's water lines, there's gas lines, yeah.
That's expensive.
Yeah. Well, we could always put a viaduct in or something, right? Like a bridge.
Yeah.
Monty's good at building bridges.
Yeah, he is, he's real good at it.
Put a wall up.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely something I would definitely like to sit down and see if we can come up with a solution.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Anything else, Sheriff?
No, sir.
All right, thank you so much.
I'm good, thank you.
Cool. So the excise board is good. I like to hear that.
Yeah.
That's good news for all of us.
Dead period.
Ma'am? All right, Lonnie?
Over on State Highway 74, they've been milling that up, and just to let the people know, the millings belong to ODOT. I cannot get any for the county roads or their driveways, so
Right.
that's definitely an ODOT job, and they got them all piled up on the state right of way, and they'll probably never use them, but they got them.
Right.
They got them piled up there by skeleton.
This is not the first time that we as
Right.
commissioners have asked about that, and they won't turn loose of any of that for county roads.
But the project's getting closer and closer to being done, so be glad when it's over. But I get lots of calls, people wanting that stuff on their road.
Sure.
They belong to ODOT.
See how that makes sense, but it's a state deal, so they're not into that
I
making
can't
sense.
get them. That's all I got.
Okay.
No, the sheriff hit on what I was gonna talk about, so, that's all I got.
Okay. I have nothing else, just thanks everybody, and see you next time. Item 17, consideration and possible action on adjournment.
I'll move with adjourn.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second to adjourn, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned, thank you gentlemen.